All right, all right. We are on this thing. We are here. Pastor Tyra, we are here. Come on in and join.
Hey, girl.
And you should be able to share this on all your channels and stuff.
I
It
did.
should be
I
live.
did. I
Oh,
did. I,
okay.
I
Okay.
shared it on my page and in the group. Yes.
Perfect. So let's give people, I guess, a few moments to come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in. Hopefully, once people start joining, let us know if they can hear us. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook, on a few pages.
Hey.
Look, check us out. Check us out. And on YouTube. So we want to welcome to our YouTube crew. I can see YouTube comments through this streaming service.
Oh,
Um, Hopefully the Facebook ones come up. It doesn't say who it is. So come on in and say hi, y'all. I can't see names, but make sure y'all say what's up. Hey, oh, Coach Chelsea, thank you. You can hear us good. As long as we got somebody that just say y'all can hear, we just gonna flow with it. So let's just get some pleasantries out the way because most of you may be joining from Pastor Tyra's side of the internet or my side. So I'll introduce myself first, introduce my lovely sister, and then we'll talk about our topic at hand. So thank y'all for joining us. I see y'all coming in. Hey, Amanda. Okay, so I'm Pastor Sharita, and I am the founder of Wholelistic Women. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Wholelistic Women Live. Hi, Tanya. And I just have the pleasure of leading this community of women. This is a women's community created to empower, encourage, and equip women, and that is my life's purpose. I just love women and seeing us elevate and be the holistic women that God has created us to be. That's right, whole, heal, transform, spirit, mind, and body. So thank you for joining us on this live. So I have been going live the last couple of weeks because our conference is coming up next week and the theme is thrive. So we've been having these thrive conversations
mm-hmm.
and I wanted to have a conversation around hi Shantae, um sisterhood, friendship, and navigating those relationships. Because being a woman myself, but also being a women's ministry leader, I feel like that is the area most where I feel like there's a lot of strife.
Ooh.
And yeah, and I usually don't understand it. And I know that women and friendships get such a bad rep in culture. But when you are in the kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to bring before you good examples and like real examples of how you can be a woman who is a kingdom woman, a woman of God, or even a woman that's just thriving and trying. How you can navigate hard relationships. We're going to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
How you can navigate when seasons are changing, seasons are up, and then also how to, because I know if you're like me, you've always you want to have good godly women around you. So even at this big age that most of us are, how do we even create those relationships and get into those? So I have my sister and my friend here. I'm gonna let her introduce herself and we're just gonna go from there. Go ahead,
Hello,
sis.
everybody. Hopefully, you all can hear me as well. My name is Pastor Tyra. I have the privilege of overseeing a digital ecumenical community called Altogether Ministries. Shout out to Altogether, okay? Uh,
Shout out all together.
in the virtual sanctuary. Let's see. I am a mom. I am a Wake Div student or a student at Wake Forest University School of Divinity. I'm a itinerant preacher and lottie dottie everybody,
Come
all of this
on.
stuff, right? Uh, and it is an
Woo.
honor to be on here tonight, talking with my sister, just about
Yes.
friendships. Listen, because this has truly been a godly connection
Come
and
on.
a godly cultivation. And so I'm grateful
And bless God.
to be on tonight to have this conversation with you, sis.
Good. Well, I always appreciate it. And literally, this how you know is a sis because I hit Tyra up like a couple hours ago. I was like, listen, I'm coming to you as only like a sister could. What you doing tonight? Like, can you jump on and have this conversation with me? Because I really feel like it's
Yeah.
needed. So I'm so appreciative that she said yes,
Absolutely.
and we are here. So if you have not seen the flyer that we posted on social media, our topic tonight is thriving in friendship,
Mhm.
navigating seasons of sisterhood. So we're going to talk about, there was like four things that I feel like, four major themes that kind of unpacks what it means to navigate seasons of sisterhood. But if y'all have
Mhm.
questions, somebody want to throw something in the chat or in the comments, feel free. We'll kind of unpack those four topics. But again, like I said, if y'all got questions, y'all want to add y'all 2 or 3 cents, that's okay. Put it in the comments and I'll make sure I'll check them as I am asking questions or even just like giving Pastor Tyra space to speak. So I just want to start it off and say thank you again, y'all, for joining. I see y'all coming in. Um, but I wanted to talk about something that I feel like every woman needs. Like every woman needs, but doesn't always
Mhm.
know how to navigate, and that's friendship. And even I don't care how old you are, what stage and place that you are in, you cannot do
That's
life
right.
alone. And I know burdens may have told you one thing, trials, tribulations may have shown you something different, and we become reclusive as we get older and we build these walls. But my thing is, I really don't believe that God created us to do things in a silo.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You need
You do.
people. So especially amongst women, friendship is one of the greatest gifts. I really feel like, and it is a gift from God. And I want to show y'all like kingdom wise. That's exactly why I
Mhm.
want to do it this way, because I feel like in the kingdom, we have to have a biblical framework around, but even also a practical
Mhm.
framework around what sisterhood and friendship looks like. All right, so we're going to dive into 4 truths. These are just the truths I thought through that I asked my sister Tyra to Pastor Tyra to unpack. So again, like I said, don't this ain't Bible. I mean, we may give y'all a little Bible because y'all got 2 preachers in here, mainly Pastor Tyra. Okay,
Don't do
she
me
quick to
like
give you a
that.
word. So she quick to give you a word. But I'm just saying, like these are just the topics that we wanted to talk through.
Mhm.
So the first point I want to bring up is thriving women don't just have friendships; they cultivate them, because most people think like, oh, this person just got this big group of friends, everybody likes her, everybody loves her, they gravitate to her, whatever the case may be. But we got to understand, if you want a relationship with somebody, you got to cultivate
Say it
that thing.
again. Say it again.
You got to cultivate that thing. Like you have to put the effort and the time in. Like I always get upset when people say, well, you didn't call me. What? Phones work 2 ways. You know what I mean? So any relationship as a woman, as a sister, and you're like, listen, I know I need sisterhood in this season of my life. I need support. I need a group. I need a cohort. Then you have to be like, okay, I have to cultivate this thing.
Mhm.
They don't just happen by accident. It's cultivated. And healthy friendship, it requires intentionality, it requires investment, and it requires nurturing.
Mhm.
And y'all know we've been in our like garden and farming kick, because we've been talking about Jeremiah 17, 7-8. It takes nurturing just like a
Mhm.
garden. Because friendship, I think we live in this world where everything is just so fake and surface that we think that friendship is supposed to be
Yeah.
microwave. No, no, no. You got to marinate
Yeah.
that thing. It's not supposed to be microwave. It's supposed to be marinated, taken time, set with. So when you cultivate something, it means watering it. You water your relationships with communication, with consistency, and then you weed out things. Come on, we've been talking about our soil. So we got to weed out things like jealousy, gossip, and competition. Those have no place in a
That's right.
friendship.
That's right.
So, Pastor Tyra, what would you say in regard to like point one? Thriving women don't have relationships; they cultivate them. How do you cultivate a sisterhood or a friend relationship with another
So
woman?
you said the word, and I would totally agree, intentionality. And in addition to that, I would
Yeah.
also add mutuality, right? It's a mutual thing. And so
Mm-hmm.
I go back to what you said of people who I'm gonna talk to my sis like we just talking. Okay. Like
Come
that's how
on.
I'm gonna talk. The reality is, even with you and I, right? I don't have certain
Yeah.
expectations of you because I know everything that's on your plate. You don't have certain expectations of me
Yeah.
because you know everything that's on my plate. But you understand there's a mutual love and a mutual respect. And we have mutual
Yes.
love for one another. When your heart posture is right towards a person,
Come
you don't
on.
take things personally when
Yeah.
they don't meet certain expectations. And I think that can we talk about that? Let's talk about the expectation gap.
Yeah, please unpack that.
Let's talk
Yes.
about
Please
the
unpack that.
expectation gap. So the expectation gap is
Yeah.
when you have a certain expectation of someone to perform at this level. They perform
Okay.
here, right? They fall short of
Mhm.
your expectation. This space in between
Right.
is where frustration breeds, where people get
Mm.
frustrated with, you didn't show up for me, you didn't call me, you didn't text me, you weren't there for me. Okay, well, did I know that
Mm.
that was your expectation of me? Did we have a
Come on.
conversation about my capacity
Come on.
and what I'm able to do in this season? And at this big age, you know what I'm saying, like, we're not kids no more, we're
Yeah.
adults. When I was a child, I thought as a
Thought like
child,
a
I did
child.
as a
Come
child,
on. I
I
reasoned
make
as a child.
decisions.
Come on.
Come on, right? But when I became a woman, I put away
Put
my childish
childish things.
things and I began to communicate.
Come
Come
on.
on, somebody.
Communication. We just come
Communicate
on.
is part of
Right.
cultivating a healthy friendship. And I think that sometimes we don't do, especially as women, we don't do friendships well because we have not put away our childish acts and our
Mm.
childish feelings of, we
Come
get
on.
in our feelings, and instead of being a woman and an adult about it by saying, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I want, this is what I desire out of this is the
Yes.
expectation that I have, right? Effective communication. We would just rather a lot of times be like, oh, I'm done with her, I'm writing her off, I'm throwing her to the
Throw it
side.
in the top. Yeah.
The other side of that is also, I think it's Proverbs chapter 18, where it says that a man or a woman must show thyself to be friendly.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to have friends, you gotta be
You gotta be
friendly.
friendly.
Which means that you too have to show up, for
Yeah.
someone else. You can't always just expect for them to show up for you, but you too have to
It's a
again be
mutual, like you
intentional.
said, mutuality.
Yep,
That's what it is.
yep.
And I want to touch
Hmm.
back on something because I think what has happened so much, and this is not just like a church thing, but this whole spirit or this idea of like offense, everybody is so offended. So I really think like sometimes you get into these spaces of like whether it's groups or friendships, and the minute something goes wrong, you said it like we supposed to be at this big age able to communicate. What does hard conversations look like in sisterhood or in friendship from your point? Because I
Yeah.
feel like if we want to come on, let's quote Bible, but Proverbs 27, when it talks about iron sharpens iron, so is a friend sharpens a friend. You should
Hmm.
be able to talk to your friends about hard conversations, about hard things, about places where a ball may have been dropped or expectations was set, but
Hmm.
they were not mutually set. And even like
Hmm.
if we're talking about thriving in friendship, then thriving friendship should sharpen you. Because my thing is,
Absolutely.
if you like that tree planted by the rivers of water, there are some storms that are going to come past this thing.
That's good.
So my thing is, the sharpening and the friendship thriving, they make you stronger, but you only get
That's
stronger
good.
in adversity and in
That's
differences.
good.
So like what would you say like in order for like women who are saying, okay, listen, I want to cultivate a sisterhood, but I feel like my hard conversation can be taken as confrontation.
Mm, that's so good. Oh, that's good. I think that offense is rooted in insecurity. That
Hmm.
if you're getting offended,
Okay.
I really think it's a what is making me insecure in this moment, because
Mm,
offense has to do with being defensive, right?
yep.
You are being defensive in regards to, you think that this person is trying to harm you. And
Yeah.
that's why trust is so important in any relationship and in any friendship. Do you trust that this person's heart towards you is pure? And
Mm,
and on the flip side, do you trust that, can I trust you to assume the best about me? That when I come to you and
yeah.
say, hey sis, I want to address this. Conflict is good,
Come
right?
on.
Confrontation is not necessarily a bad thing. To confront means to address
To
something,
dress. Yes.
right? And
Hmm.
so if I'm confronting you about something, really you should take that as an act of care, because we don't address things that we don't care about.
Come
right?
on. That's good.
And so I think that there has to be we have to do a better job of cultivating friendship, and stop having these surface level connections, these
Definitely.
shallow connections, but
Right.
really like, can I trust you? Right? Can I trust you to hold me? Can I
Yeah.
trust you that there's a book that I tell every usually I encourage individuals to read it in regards to romantic relationships, but I think it's applicable in friendship and in platonic relationships. There's a book, I believe it's by, I can't remember his name right now, but I'm gonna come back to it. The name of the
Okay.
book is called um, Why Am I Afraid to Tell You Who I Am?
Mm.
That's the name of the book, right?
Hmm.
Why am I afraid to tell you who I am? And basically, the book is talking about why we as people mask, why we have an issue with being our true, vulnerable, and authentic
Yeah.
selves
Yeah.
with one another. And the base and the root and the foundation of it is a lack of trust. That
Yeah.
our trust issues cause us to mask and put on with people, even those that are closest to us. But if we want to build true friendship and thrive in it,
Yes. Yes.
that means we got to be willing to weed out the weeds in our friendship. We can't just let whatever grow in the garden. We
That's
got to
so
pull up
good.
them weeds.
You got to be able to cultivate your gardens, and that, and I also within cultivation, you said something that triggered this thought in my head, and I was thinking like surface sisterhood is not surface. So I think we just have to learn
Mhm.
how to properly place people in our lives so that we don't get to the point of hi Jamie, your girl Jamie is on. She up, yeah, she being a scribe for you today. I love it.
I love
Um,
it.
yeah. So we just got to know how to properly place people,
Mhm.
so that we don't have to feel like we have to show up for people in ways that one, we're not ordained to, or two, that we don't have the capacity to. Everybody, and like especially with a group like this, so I'll just use Holistic Women for an example. Everybody's not going to be besties.
Correct.
Everybody's not going to be, this is kingdom sisterhood, but at the end of the day, it's going to be people that you have a deeper or a more surface level relationship with, and that's okay. Even us as like pastors and first lady, I tell people all the time, everybody's not our friends. Now I'm friendly with
Mhm.
everybody, but I'm not friends with everyone. And I think we have to be okay with whatever receiving end we're on, whether we're the friend or whether we're not. You know what I mean? And just respecting people's boundaries and relationship, because then that way we know, okay, yes, that is a person, that is a neighbor, that's my neighbor at church. We high and by, but when I get home at night, this is my sis. This is like I don't have to be
Mhm.
surface with her. Like we can go deep. And
Yeah.
I really like I'm saying that to say like because I think people they misconstrue friendliness with friendship, and we begin to throw out titles and expectations to people who never ask for the title or the expectation. So it's not always on the other party. Sometimes it's on us being able to have the wisdom and the spiritual maturity to say, okay, I know where to properly place the people that are in my life and what role they play.
This is so good because what comes to my mind is these abandonment and rejection issues
Mm,
that don't get addressed in kingdom. That
yeah,
a lot of times, just because we're not friends does not
yeah.
mean I'm rejecting you,
Come on, that's good. Just because we're
right?
not friends, I'm not rejecting you.
I'm
Yeah.
not rejecting you. And that's why we have to deal with our insecurities, right?
Yes.
That's why we have to
Yes.
know who we are and who God called us to be. Because I also believe when we look at Jesus and his disciples, right?
Yes.
Um, Going back to what you said at the beginning of God did not call us to do life alone. We need community.
Yeah.
Jesus needed community. Jesus needed the 12 disciples. Those were his boys, those were his people. But even amongst the 12, Jesus
Come
still
on.
had three.
He still had three.
Jesus still had three, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's important for us to understand, like you said, how
Yeah.
where to place people in our lives that amongst the crowd, amongst the crew, I still have a core of individuals
Yes.
who get to go up on the mountain with me,
Come
who get to
on.
go into the garden of Gethsemane with
With
me and see
yeah.
me sweat and see me cry. But
Yeah.
everybody in the crew can't handle
Can't
that side of
handle
me,
that. Right.
right? And if we looking at the disciples, Jesus chose his crew for purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing I think we have to realize is that, and again, we're not children anymore. We're
Right.
not on the playground anymore. We're adults. And so it's not just about, will you be my friend? But it's also about purpose.
Yeah.
Are you called to fulfill the
Walk this.
purpose on my life with
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Can you handle the weight and the assignment that's on my life? And can I handle the weight and the assignment that's on your life? Because think about it, sis. The disciples were persecuted after Jesus
Come
left.
on.
Why? Because I saw you hanging
Because
with
I
him,
saw you with
right?
them. Mm.
Are you ready to have a target on your back because you hanging with me?
Come
Because the
on.
truth is, the assignment and the call that God has on our lives, it
Come on.
might look cute on the flyer, but
Mm-mm.
it's not easy.
Mm-mm. It ain't easy. It comes with the cost. It comes with the cost. Yeah. So people got to be
It
ready for
does.
that. They got to
Yeah.
be ready for that. And that's what I'm saying. Even proximity matters, but it can also be not, I wouldn't say a detriment, but we got to understand when you are connecting with people, who are you connecting with?
Yeah.
Who are you connecting with? I can be we've heard this saying guilty by association. Whether good, bad, ugly, or different. You know what I mean? What do I want my association to be?
That's good.
What
That's
do I
good.
want my reputation to be? And it's kind of leading us to the second point that thriving women see friendship as an assignment from God.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're saying, okay, this is I declare 2025, I'm thriving, I'm doing all these things, but what does this mean in the area of my relationships,
That's
specifically my
good.
friendships? So I think like from a biblical and kingdom mindset for us women who are like, listen, I'm for everything that this world has, well, not everything this world has to offer, but my spiritual life, I really want to take that to the next level. And what does
Mm-hmm.
that look like with the people that God's placed in my life? So I think it's
Mm-hmm.
good for us to understand that friendship isn't just a social thing. Like you were just saying, you just said that. It's not social, it's spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Because God assigns people to our life for purpose.
That's right.
And obviously the most cheatable example that you can always pull from, especially as women, is like the Ruth and Naomi thing. Even though that wasn't
Mm-hmm.
technically her friend, but if you look at just like the covenant and the loyalty that was shown with them two, it kind of puts you in the same framework of like, okay, this is somebody who's like, listen, you have experienced me to a level of something that I am willing to go with you without
Mm-hmm.
even knowing what's ahead of us because of your faith in it, then I have faith. Because of your call to it, then I feel called. Your people will
Mm-hmm.
be my people. Your home will be my home. Your God will be my God. That type of situation. What are your friends pulling you into?
Ooh,
That's what we
that's
want is like
good.
what the people that you're calling sis and the covenants that you are making, because that's what it is. It's a covenant. Where are they pulling you?
That's good.
So I want to just like kind of unpack that too about like, when you see friendship as an assignment for God, like what does that mean for you, especially as a woman of God and being like a pastor and a preacher and this wonderful woman that you are in the kingdom? Like,
Oh,
how do
sis.
how do you not just navigate that, but how do you even recognize sometimes like and cultivate those friendships like that?
That's a good question. I'll be vulnerable and tell you that friendships, it is something that I would not say by default I have been good at.
Yeah.
It is something that I have to work at.
Yeah.
Um, and I have to be intentional about it, right? And
Hmm.
even, I'm gonna say it on a lot, even with me and you, I'm like, I thank God for my sister because she's so gracious. She loved me for real, like she loves me for real. And I think that's important to say because I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna
Um,
cry.
come on, don't start. No, listen. Don't say
But there have been people who have said that they were called to be my friend, but it was really about what they could get from me, right?
Mm,
It was about where they thought they could get ahead in life and how they could advance by being connected to me. And so one of my
yeah.
things is I know that someone is a friendship from God when they don't want or need nothing from me. When they are okay with Tyra being Tyra. Because
Yes.
when I'm going through something, baby, Pastor Tyra gets put on the shelf for a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. Like,
Come on.
hey, I need y'all to stay awake for a little
To the
bit, make
front.
sure I'm
Yes.
all
Stay
right.
awake.
You get what I'm saying? But
Girl.
really, I
Yes.
have had to be discerning about
Yes.
who I cultivate friendship with, and can you handle my humanity?
Mm,
Can you handle my
hmm.
humanity when the lights are shut off, when the cameras are off, when we walk off the
Yeah.
platform? Can you handle my moments when the human side of me kicks in, right?
Hmm.
Are you
Hmm.
going to look at me different? Are you also going to think less of my anointing and the call on my life because I'm having a human moment,
Mm.
right? You and I done
Yeah.
had some real conversations where I'm like, sis,
Right. Listen.
but you
Ready to walk
okay.
away.
But the moments of that show a true friendship is, do you still
Yes.
respect who God has called me to be, even after
Mm.
I've shown you this is where it hurts,
Yes.
this is my humanity, this is
Mm.
my thorn, right? You don't, it don't cause you to
Mm.
look at my calling or my anointing any
Calling different.
different. That's a true friendship. And the other thing, I think I might be moving ahead into the next question, but the other
No, go
thing
ahead. Go ahead.
is realizing that sometimes friendships do change with the seasons. You got
Mm.
to be able to discern when a season
Yep.
is changing, and that doesn't mean that they weren't your friend. That
Right.
doesn't mean that they're
Right.
not even still somewhat of your friend. That means that maybe they serve the purpose that they were called to serve in that period of
Yeah.
your life. But as God elevates you and takes you higher and
Yeah.
take you into a different season, God will allow for others to come into connection with you, right? We ain't got to have no bad
Exactly. Yeah.
beef, Abraham and Lot.
Come
We
on.
ain't got to have
Yeah.
no
We just
beef.
gotta go our separate
That's
ways.
right.
And that's the truth because, like you said, reasons, seasons, and lifetimes,
Hmm.
and that's another thing about knowing when to recognize. All right, the seasons are shifting now. I can see it. The leaves are withering. You know, the grass is getting brown. Like just practically speaking, we got to just be able to identify and discern those things
Hmm.
because we try to hold on to friends like and hoard them
Ooh,
like people hoarders, and it's like this not an accessory. This was an assignment. You know, like it's not an accessory, something for you to just have as a treasure. I'm not just here for you to be like, okay, whenever I need you, I'll pull you out the shelf. This was an assignment. And I think when we begin to see friendship as an assignment, we stop forcing connections.
that's so good.
When you see it as an assignment, you stop forcing connections because I really believe, especially like you and me, which is crazy because I always felt like I was a person who I couldn't trust people.
Hmm.
And I'm not a easily like gung ho trusting person, but it was like these last few years of life, I really sat with God and like prayed a prayer of just like where you're calling me, God.
Mm.
I need to be able to let other women in, but I also need to be cultivated by some real genuine friendships and not just with any people. And it was like this last past year, it was like you and I would even say like Pastor Amberly, some different women that I
Mhm.
was able to connect with, where it was like, okay, this must be God honoring this prayer
Mhm.
because I feel not just an assignment, but I feel like there is a cultivation of a
Yeah,
call that's at the depth of what we're building.
yeah.
So I really believe we have to stop looking at people as an accessory and what we can get from them and how shiny this relationships look on the outside, and realize, okay, what is the assignment that God wants? Like, what does God want us to do together in the earth? When I'm partnering with people, it can't just be by
That's
happenstance.
right.
Our lives are too unique. It's too like, if you when you tap into like the kingdom, you understand like, okay, this stuff is not by just
That's
accident.
right.
There is a purpose for everything under the sun.
Mhm.
So I really believe we need to start praying for and cultivating those relationships so that we can do them correctly.
Mhm.
I'm gonna check the comments real quick because I've seen a bunch of comments coming up. Okay, so yeah. Can you handle my yes? Come on. You gotta ask people, where is this pulling me? Like yes, okay, this is an assignment. So okay, people are agreeing. Hi, hey y'all, thank y'all for joining. Look, we just right into it. So sorry if we missed you coming on and saying hello, but keep writing in the comments. We definitely gonna get back to it. All right, we on our third point. So the third point, Pastor Tyra already was about to open it up. It's about thriving women recognize the shift in seasons.
Mhm.
Okay, because like I think this is where so many of us we get stuck. Like, is that oh, sorry, y'all, my dog will start acting crazy. Okay, so we get kind of stuck in like, you know, noticing when something is at its end,
Mhm.
or when even something I feel like, or even when something is at its infancy, when God is trying to bring you to a new circle and to a new group. But some of us have that mindset like, no new friends, no new friends. And it's like, God, like, baby, I'm trying to open you up into a whole nother level and a whole nother sphere of support and connection and of network. So I think it's important for us to understand when life changes, when you even when your personal life, like some of us are, getting married, we're
Mhm.
having children, we're furthering our careers, we're stepping forth in ministry, we're writing books, we're become entrepreneurs. You gonna have to change that circle up. Cause you're just go to the club friends. What you gonna do when you gotta talk to the go to the club friends about like marriage, motherhood, and or you take your 9 to 5 friends and then you trying to build a business for yourself. You got to get into these other rooms,
That's
get
right.
into these other networks and start mingling and getting to know people. So I know those are practical examples, but even in the church or even as women of God, when you are in different seasons of your life, it is going to call for you to be a different person. And I'm not saying be fake or not that type of different person, but what happens when you have to change, when your lifestyle
Mm.
changes and God is trying to introduce you into another circle of friends. Ecclesiastes 3, for everything there is a season.
So I'm
Everything.
so glad that you said that because I'm getting the book now. So, as you all know, who are part of Altogether Ministries, we just finished 21 days of prayer and devotion by
Mhm.
my good mentor, Dr. Joshua L. Mitchell, wrote a book. It's right here because I got my Bible right here. It's called Bread for Life, right? And this book
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
life changing. Okay. Okay. We did it for 21 days,
Okay, I gotta get
but
that.
it's 6 weeks long. If you don't have the book, sis, you need it. I didn't know you didn't have no book. I would have just
Okay.
sent you one. My
I
goodness.
don't have that one. Yeah, I'm using.
Oh, sis. You know what? I'm failing as a
Okay.
friend. Okay.
No.
But no. So yesterday, the devotion yesterday was called Grief on the Go. And I'm glad that you talked about
Mm,
transitioning of seasons because he says here in the book, he says, every transition comes with grief. Grief often
mm.
walks with us
Yes.
even as we walk into good things. And I think it's important for
Mm.
us to talk about that
Yeah.
because I don't think that as a people we have a good relationship with grief
No.
anyway.
No.
But if we understand that grief is not just something that happens when a loved one physically dies,
Oh, I was going to
grief.
ask you to talk about grieving people while they're still alive. Come on, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on.
So grief is an emotion. I heard someone say one time before that grief is an emotion that shows up as evidence that love or
Mm.
adoration or care used to live there, right? So you can grieve a person that is
Yeah.
alive, you can grieve
Yes.
a relationship, you can grieve a connection.
Woo.
Here's one that I'm processing. You can grieve a previous season of life or even your idea of what you thought life was going to look like.
Mm.
Hmm. Come on, somebody.
Come
So
on.
I say that because when seasons change and we realize that this person has been with me up to this period in this capacity, but
Yes.
because of where our life is taking us, there may be a shift happening. You have to grieve that. You have to grieve
Yeah.
because when we don't grieve, we become bitter. And
Mm.
that's part of the reason why we be wanting to cut
Come on.
people off because we bitter and we have
We
not
better.
been taught to properly
Mhm.
process our emotions and admit,
Mm.
I love that person. I enjoyed being in community with them. I loved what we had.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that it is no more. It's okay for you to say you sad. It's
Mm.
okay for you to say, I miss my friend. That's a part of
Right.
grief. But when we don't admit those feelings, I don't know why we as a people won't admit those things. When we don't admit those feelings, it does two things. Not only does it breed bitterness, but it causes us to be reluctant to open up to who God has for us next in the next
Mm.
season. And it's
Yeah.
a part of life, people. It's a Jesus even came and said, I'm not gonna be with you always.
Come on.
Jesus said, "This is for a season.
I'm not gonna be
I
there.
got to
I'm not gonna be
go
there.
because I got some different things to do. I got a different work to do."
Yeah.
Even when
Yeah.
Jesus died, resurrected, came back, Jesus still said, "I got to go. I'm not going to stay here with y'all." Right?
Mm.
We got to be okay with people coming. Ooh, okay. I said I wasn't gonna cry. We got to
Mm.
be okay with people
Come
coming,
on.
with them teaching us what they were meant to teach us, for us to gain what we were meant to gain from that relationship and connection. And then we have to be okay with
Right.
letting them go. India Ari has a song, and
Oh, that's my girl. I
it's
love
in
her.
that song, He Heals Me. And she says in the song, she says, I have no idea. Now she talk about a man,
Sing the
okay?
song. Sing the song. Say the.
He says, I have no idea how long he'll be here, a season or a lifetime, forever or a year. But for the first time in my life,
Mm.
I'm not worried about the future because we have such a wonderful time when we're together. India is saying,
Come on.
this person is such a gift. And
Enjoy the right now.
baby,
Come on. Enjoy the
we
right
be missing
now.
out on the gift of the present
Right.
because we're
Yep.
so anxious about the future. Just enjoy the season that
Mm.
God is allowing
So
you
we
to
just
be in.
we want to go through the heartbreak
Oh
twice.
my gosh.
It's like you putting yourself through it now, and then you're putting yourself through it later. Make it make sense. It's like,
And then that
but
because
I
you ain't
think
got no
that's
friends
good.
in the future.
Come on. And that's what, but no, the grieving thing is so good. And I think a lot of people don't really tap into it because I think we just reserve grief for like funerals
Mhm.
and death and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But when we grieve connections, it is also about making room. You allow yourself to
Ooh.
go through that emotional process and you make room. Because if we keep clinging to what was, how are we going to
Mhm.
embrace what is?
Ooh, that's
Like we're so
good.
stuck in the past, and we're so stuck about how they did me. Okay, they walked away. I don't have closure. I don't have this. But I really think sometimes the closure is the end of something. It just was the end of it.
Mhm.
And we got to understand like, you may never get a full reason as to why, whether it's a betrayal that closed that
Yeah.
chapter, whether it was somebody doing something to you, saying something about you, completely switching up, or whether it was just like a silent goodbye.
Yeah. Ooh, a
Like you got to
silent
understand
goodbye.
sometimes, yeah, because some people just ghost after a
Yeah.
while. And you be left like, well, what did I do with it? And sometimes it's not even just about you. Sometimes it's about their own things that they're going through. And we take on so much of that
Yeah.
burden. And at the end of the day, it had nothing even to do with
Yeah.
you.
That's good.
So we just gotta kind of go through that process and just make space. Allow your emotions and your grief to make space for what God wants to do.
Mhm.
Not all friendships are your forever
Yeah.
friendships, but be like India
Yeah.
Ari and enjoy that moment while you got it. Enjoy that moment while let it fulfill its purpose
Yes. Yes.
now.
Yes. Yeah. That's good.
Let it fulfill that purpose now. Yeah, and we got to understand that friendship is fruit.
Ooh, that's
And
good.
y'all know I'm on my Jeremiah 17 kick. I'm on my thrive kick, and we are bearing fruit in every season. But friendship is fruit. And when you think about fruit, fruit isn't really for the tree itself. So if we're going to be like that tree planted and God gives us fruit in every season, if we looking at friendship as a fruit, we got to understand this fruit will be with us for a season.
Mm,
Eventually that fruit got to go and nourish something else or someone
that's
else.
good.
So we got to just get in the habit of knowing, like, okay, I am bearing this fruit. I am producing, I'm cultivating it. I'm making it. I'm doing all the things for it so that when it is released to somebody else, it doesn't make them sick. So you be the example of a kingdom woman that God has called you to be. Because at the end of the day, even though sometimes fruit may fall, people may pick at it, you don't never know where your fruit may end up. But at the end of the day, they'll always be able to identify, okay, this must have came from a good tree.
That's good. That's good
This
teaching.
came from a good tree. So be a good tree. Come on and thrive. And thrive. So
Listen, you
we
can
gotta
cash
keep
out
moving.
your
Go
seed
ahead, go
to
ahead, go ahead.
dollar sign holistic women, okay? Because that was a
Come on,
whole
please do.
word.
Please do.
That was a whole word.
For real. Because you just want to be, and let me tell you, don't get me wrong. And I think the problem is, though, too, as I said this the other day at church, I said, don't confuse the crop. And I was using the example of the wheat and the tear growing
Mm-hmm.
together and how we see things growing and getting bigger and we equate that to being good or to being
Mm-hmm.
God. And God said, no, 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 that's the wheat and the tear growing together. Eventually, there will be a separation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too many times we get so hell bent on trying to prove like that is a tear, that's a tear, that's a tear, that we stop watering the wheat because we're so focused on the
That's good.
counterfeit. But my thing is, if we just allow God to sort it out,
Mm-hmm.
we don't gotta always prove to people our sides of the story. When things happen, things blow up, people walk away. Okay, well, what happened with you and so and so? Just pray for them. You don't even gotta go into the weeds of like all these things. Just pray for them, and that way you remain that good tree. That's what I'm just saying. You just remain a tree, an integral tree, a tree with deep roots, a tree that keeps bearing good fruit. So at the end of the day, people say, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't know what happened between us, but that was a
That's
good
right.
tree, and that's
That's
it.
right.
That's it.
That's right. And
So all
it
right, let's
served its
go ahead.
purpose in the season that God meant for
Yeah,
it to. We don't, I'm so glad that you
yeah,
said it. We don't gotta badmouth people just because you're not
we
in
don't.
the season that you were with them. What the man of God,
Yep.
Minister Usher Raymond got a song that said, "We ain't good, good,
You know
we
what? Not
still
Minister
good."
Raven. We still good. It ain't good, good,
But
but
we
we
still
come on, come
good.
on. For real. We
We
still
good.
good.
It's no bad blood. You
Yeah.
know, our time was up, and that's okay. That's okay.
And more women, I think, need to get to a point in life where they understand like separation doesn't have to be a bad
Hmm.
thing. We don't gotta be enemies because we're not friends no more.
Say it
Like it's
again.
just like okay, we don't have to be enemies just because we're not friends anymore.
It's good.
Like we've both gotten to a point where we've reached our ceiling in this friendship.
Hmm.
So you go to this side of the Jordan, I'm gonna go on this side of the Jordan, and prayerfully, we're
Yeah.
able to cultivate the land that's around us and coexist
Yeah.
together. It don't have to be a negative thing, and I think that's important. Like being able to coexist without bad mouthing
That's right.
everybody, it's fine. This wasn't your cup of tea. I'm gonna go over here and sip my water
That's
in.
right.
That type of thing. Okay, so point four. Let me just make sure we ain't missing nobody.
Bree said, not Minister Usher.
Come on, they got a word. Allow the moment. Yes. Okay, that's on. Okay, so we're gonna move to point four. So our fourth point is thriving women invest in sisterhood. You gotta
Hmm.
invest in your sisterhood. Like we said earlier, it's about intentionality, but not just intentionality, but mutuality. What are your mutual like? You can't just be a friend that wants to take, 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 take. Are you willing to give anything? Are you willing to sacrifice anything? Are you willing to show up with anything? I say this all the time that support is an action word.
Hmm. Hmm.
I I can please don't keep telling me you support me. Cause like
That's right.
that's just me. Like my thing is like your mouth is saying one thing, but your actions are doing another.
Mhm.
So my thing is like, I don't really care about what you're saying. What
Mhm.
are you
Mhm.
doing? So I think it's important for us if we're going to be friends to people and support. I'm not always saying it's always financial or you always got to go above and beyond or go out your way. But when you love somebody and they're building something, you're going to eventually pick up a brick. You know, at least you can at least hand it to me. You ain't even got to lay it.
You can pick up a brick. That's good.
You
That's good teaching.
can, that's the least you can do. Like, I ain't even asked you to put the stuff on it and lay it. But if you're going to be in my life, there's got to be a way somewhere that you can find your hand and put it to the plow.
Put it to the
Some
plow.
way.
Don't just stand there and look at me build. Don't just do that. That
Don't.
that's a fan. That's not a
That's
friend.
a girl, you
A
that
fan
is a
stands on the
preach.
sideline.
That is
Yeah,
a preach.
a fan stands on the sideline
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm. And
and
admire.
admires.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
not a friend. A friend is gonna lay down what they got in their hand and pick up because at some point,
Yeah.
let's talk about this mutuality.
Yeah.
You're gonna want me to come help lay a brick for you,
Exactly.
right? I struggle. I'm so glad that you said that. I struggle with people that call themselves friends, but you
No.
watching me on the sideline.
No.
And really what you're doing is you're waiting to see who else is
Mm.
going to get on the bandwagon to support. Before let me tell you something. I don't want no quiet friends. I don't
Oh,
I don't I don't want any friends
I
that
said this.
can only support me privately.
Girl, I posted
Now,
about that last a couple weeks ago.
I
Private.
don't want you to just be my friend because of what you think, whatever clout you think is going to get you, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need you to be okay with no one knowing that we're
Yep.
friends. Catch it, right? I need you to be okay with no one knowing that we're friends, but I don't need you to be quiet about being my friend.
Be my
There's a
friend. Right.
difference.
Right. No,
There
completely
is a
understand.
difference.
I completely
You
understand that.
understand what I'm saying? I don't want you
Yeah.
to be self-serving in friendship of, oh, I want to be, Lady B's friend
Hmm.
because that give me a certain level of status. No, no,
Hmm.
no.
Hmm.
Don't nobody got to know when we go out to lunch. Don't nobody, I don't gotta post it every time when we go to lunch. I don't gotta post. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Oh, we
Yeah.
was on the
Yeah.
phone
No,
for
for
two
real.
hours. I don't have to
Yeah.
post that.
I don't gotta post that.
But when she has her conference, I'm gonna be
I'm gonna
loud
post
about
it.
that.
Right.
That's all I'm
Right.
saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And that's the truth. It's like my thing is I don't want private support and then public crickets.
Ooh,
Because I don't, you know what I mean? Because my thing is as a person, I don't operate like that. So that's
yeah.
why you got to understand mutuality and sisterhood and then friendship and the people that you are connected with. Because some people may be mentees or mentors or whatever, but it's still that
Hmm.
same support. I feel like if you say you support and you love somebody, you're going to do whatever you can to see them win.
That's right.
I don't
That's
need the
right.
accolades. Like I'll come to the conference. I'll sow into the ministry. People don't even know. But I do it because at the end of the day, I want to see you win.
That's right.
And it has to be vice versa. Like you can't be the friend that's always supporting, and you look back and say, "Dang, what about your friends?" And you be like, "Dang, like I'm out here all in this garden by myself."
Yep. Hmm.
So that's important for us to understand. You got to invest in this sisterhood. You got to invest in your friends. And again, we're not just only talking fun. When we hear invest, most of us like, oh, I gotta no. You don't always gotta buy. You don't always got to spend your money, but you should spend your time.
You should
You
spend your
should spend
time.
your talent, at least something.
That's good. That's good. It's
Yeah.
it is about relational equity.
Mm,
Are you depositing into the relational bank to be able to make withdrawals?
come
If
on.
you ain't made no deposits, you can't make no
Some
withdrawals.
people in the red, baby, and in this season of my life, we ain't doing no overdrafts. I'm sorry, we ain't doing no overdrafts. I ain't got it in me no more. I ain't got it in.
Yeah,
I ain't got it
yeah.
in me. So you can't be loud in
Mm,
private and quiet in public. That's not how
that's
it works.
good.
That's not how it rolls. So again, we wasn't created to do life
That's good.
alone. And thriving women, we have to have intentionality. We know how we have to place people in the right environments in our lives. You know what I mean? And we got to understand how sisterhood is cultivated. And
Yeah,
that's exactly why Holistic Women was created.
that's good.
That is exactly why Holistic Women was created, to create this space, a safe space for women where they can feel safe, seen, and supported. A
Hmm.
place where women can come together and be like, you know what? I see myself in some of these other women. And like I said, everybody's not going to always be besties, but you're going to have a soft place to land when you feel like you are doing life by yourself.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's not about perfection. It's not about perfection. It's about pursuit. How are you pursuing the relationships that God has entrusted into your life? People don't understand. Like, not saying that people are dispensable, but I really feel like there's a currency in connection. Like there is a
Hmm.
currency in connection, and the people that you connect with can either take you to new levels or pull you away from the ones that God called you to. So
Hmm.
you gotta be careful and be able to recognize that. And before I kind of go into a spill, do you want any last thoughts in regards to this topic?
Yeah, the last thing it just came to mind while you were saying that. I think that we also have to be mindful that not all friendships serve the same purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think that the reason, especially when it comes to uh, ministry, having friends in faith spaces,
Yeah.
um, that we can think when our friend gets a new friend that that means that they're replacing us, but
Yeah.
understanding that not all friendships serve the same purpose. So
Yeah.
just because I'm your friend doesn't mean that I don't have other
Other friends.
friends that
Yeah.
serve other purposes. And again, it just goes back to the conversation about being secure in who you are, being
Mm-hmm.
secure in yourself, in what you bring to the table, what your contributions are, what your talents are. You know, I understand because I know who I am. I know my role as a friend, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that I got different friends that I call for different things, right?
Yeah.
Um, I got my ratchet friends and my righteous friends. I got my Peters and I got my John the Baptist, right? When I
Right.
need somebody to cut off an ear, I know who to call when I need somebody to get a prayer through. And sometimes that person may be
Can
the
be
same
what?
person, but it may not
Like,
be.
what they be doing? I don't even know. I think it's one of these figures. Okay, here we go.
um,
Period. Because
just
if I got to
being
put on
secure.
whatever hat I got to put on.
Listen, with them earrings, baby, and you both of them, okay? With these braids and these earrings, you
Come
both
on. Listen, if I
reveal
got
it.
to bring the
Yeah.
Philly out, I got to bring. I listen. I only been in Greensboro for about 5 years, and still Philly be trying to come rise up. But I bless God.
Oh God,
I bless God.
that's hilarious.
I bless God for what the change He has made. Okay,
Thank you, Lord.
so we ain't got to cut no ears off. But so listen, I done put down the sword, baby. Go ahead. You say whatever you want to say. Just go on ahead. But thriving in friendship, it's about, it's not like you were saying, it's not about having a perfect friends. It's about being intentional. It's about being discerning. It's about being
Hmm.
bold enough to step into the rooms so that we can be sharpened. And that's exactly where we're
Yeah,
going. And I just want to encourage people who feel like they're at a place like wondering like what they did in friendships and relationships. Closure isn't always a conversation. Stop waiting on the conversation. Closure isn't always a conversation. Sometimes this is a decision. You know what?
that's good.
I'm that happened. I'm just going to decide to move on and to move on better and not bitter. And like you said earlier, we
Hmm.
don't have to sit in that bitterness. So I want
Yeah.
to just encourage every woman who maybe, or I know we got some men in here. What's up, y'all? But for every woman, because I'm gonna speak to the woman right now, that is in this space of thriving, in this space that feels like, you know what, I want to cultivate, and it's okay. I pray for friends. I'm not ashamed to
Hmm.
admit it. That's one of the things that is constantly on my prayer list because I understand the currency of connection. Like it's the Bible is literal
Currency
with it.
of connection.
I don't have time to really go through, but I really believe partnership team going together. Like Jesus even sent the disciples out two by two. That connection is powerful. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
like invite women who are on this call into the sisterhood of holistic women. This it ain't perfection over here, but we do pursue them. We pursue Christ. We pursue true relationship. We really do try and we care about one another. And I want to invite you to Holistic Women's Weekend. So this is what the whole Thrive theme and everything has been leading up to. I really want to invite you to Holistic Women's Weekend and invite you into this space of just thriving holistically, spirit, mind, and body. And our theme this year is Jeremiah 17:7-8, understanding what it means to weather the storm, no matter what season of life that you are in. So if you are interested in learning about Holistic Women's Weekend, if somebody from the team is on live, just put the website down there, holisticwomen.com. It's on the social media places. You can click on my name. We're live on the Holistic Women page. Um, to get more information about what we got going on with Holistic Women and to get your tickets, because tickets are on sale until Friday at mid 11:59 p.m. So make sure you get your ticket for Holistic Women's Weekend. There was an email sent out to our subscribers with a nice little code in there. So make sure y'all check your emails for that and just join us for Holistic Women's Weekend. It's going to be a time. I'm telling you, you will not be upset that you are in the room for this. I'm telling you, it's going to be miracles, breakthrough, signs, and wonders in the room.
Yes,
And
Lord.
then also, before we go, because we almost at the hour mark. Before we go, my sister, Pastor Tyra, has an amazing opportunity to take her ministry across the
Mm.
water. And y'all already know it costs money to do ministry. We are people, I'm telling you, she's
Mhm.
integral. She's not trying to take your money to go get her the latest BMW and do all that stuff. She's trying to take a team of people to change lives in an area that needs her help. So go ahead and tell them what you got going on and how they can be a blessing and seed into what you got going on.
See, this is godly friendship. This is godly friendship for real. Thank you, sis. So, Altogether Ministries has the opportunity to go do outreach in Kumasi, Ghana, in Africa. In case y'all don't know where Ghana is in Africa. In December, we are taking 8 of our leaders over to do a 3 night revival, but also to do some community outreach. We're going to be taking some
Yeah.
hygiene products, some clothes, some shoes, some educational resources. And we're going to be there in the community, in their schools, in their orphanages. And so we are raising money for our campaign to be able to take our team over and be the hands and feet of Jesus for real. It's
Come
something for
on.
us to do there. And I'm excited about it. And so if you feel led to sow, no seed is too small. You can sow at Cash App Altogether Ministries. We do have Zelle. We do have givebutter.com. It's like a GoFundMe, but it's
Mm-hmm.
specifically for nonprofit organizations. Um, and so, yeah, we want to invite you to sow a seed into Altogether in Africa so that we can go and be a part of what they're already doing in that community. We're partnering with the church and a pastor, Pastor Ernest, and the Perfecting Hill Chapel of Ghana. So we're excited. We are really excited. I think, Jamie, if you're still in the comments, go ahead and put the website, Give Butter website, there so people can see more information about it. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel led to do this. I want to
Okay.
sponsor one lady to come to the Holistic Women weekend. And so this is what we're going to do. If this is okay with my
Okay.
sis, I'm going to
Yeah.
send you over the money uh, to sponsor a lady, and you can do some type of giveaway, or you can do if there's
No,
some a
listen, you
lady.
got to do because they're gonna think I'm biased. I can't pick.
No, your team gonna have
I
to do
can't.
it then. Well, here's what we'll do. We will sponsor a lady who wants to be there but is unable to because of financial hardship. That's what we'll do. I feel led to
Okay.
do that, and so I'll send the money over and allow your team, not Lady B. Okay, I'm gonna let her team to decide
Okay.
who will be that one woman who will be able to come for Holistic Women Weekend. We were there last year, and let me tell you something. Holy Spirit
Yes.
came in like a
Yes.
wrecking bomb. Do you hear
Come
me?
on.
A
Come
wrecking
on.
bomb. So I know that a woman's life will be changed by being there, and I want to sow a seed into someone else's life to be a part of that. So I'll send it over to you.
All
Okay,
right.
sis?
Well, okay. So if you are on here and you're watching and you're like, listen, I really wanted to be there at Holistic Women's Weekend, September 19th to the 21st, and you really don't have it, Pastor Tyra is going to sponsor you. If you are watching on like Facebook or Instagram, send a message, not to my DM, send it to the Holistic Women page. Whether you're on Facebook or Instagram, send it to the Holistic Women page. If you're watching on YouTube, you can send an email to info@holisticwomen.com and just say, hey, this is, you don't really got to get into your business. Be integral. God knows He's watching. But let us know, and we will place pass the Tyra seed for your ticket. Okay. And if you're still in the comments, whether you're on Facebook, hopefully you can see this. It's All Together Ministries. I added them in there. I believe Holistic Women added them. And then we have Minister Jamie who added the information to help give to their All Together Africa trip as well, their mission trip. So thank you to everybody who joined us tonight, who were commenting in the comments, giving your feedback. We truly appreciate it. Again, like we said, we're just like, yo, we are two women trying to cultivate the call that God has given to us. And we are just being obedient to what God is doing in our lives and trying to walk out ministry the best way we know how,
Yeah.
by following the leading of the
Yeah.
Lord. And again, we just wanted to be an example of what it looks like when, women can work, women come
Yeah.
together. We kind of have similar platforms, similar walks, similar assignments, but there is no competition.
That's right.
It's all about collaboration and
That's
connection.
right.
So forget all that you got to be at odds with people and all this. Listen, there's enough room for all of us to eat.
That's
So
right.
I thank God for this table that we get to share together and eat from. And for everybody else that's watching, again, we thank y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Have an awesome night. And don't forget to check out the links that are in the comments. Show us some love. Support any way that you can, even if you can just share the information with somebody else in your networks. We would truly appreciate it. We hope y'all have a great night. Love y'all. And we will be all together whole